Picture this, a scorching summer night in the New Mexico desert. The silence is so profound you can hear sand rustling in the gentle breeze. The sky is studded with stars, and suddenly a brilliant flash. A fireball roars down to earth, leaving behind a trail of smoke and mysteries. This happened in July 1947, near the sleepy town of Roswell. What was it? An ordinary weather balloon, as authorities claim, or something so incredible that it continues to captivate millions of minds to this day? Let's examine this step by step and try to peer behind the veil of mystery. So let's start with what we were told officially. In July 1947, a rancher named Mac Brazel, a simple man from a ranch, discovered something strange among his fields. Debris. Metallic, shiny, light as a feather, yet strong as steel. He decided to report it to the sheriff, who then contacted the military from the nearby Roswell base. The next day, July 8, the military issued a statement that shocked the world. They had found a flying disc. Yes, exactly that, a UFO. Newspapers buzzed, people began whispering about aliens. But within less than a day, the tone changed. Mistake, said the military. It's just a weather balloon. According to them, it was part of the secret Project Mogula program designed to monitor Soviet Union nuclear tests. The debris, they claimed, was just pieces of rubber, foil, and wooden beams. Nothing unusual. By 1994, the US Air Force even published a report to definitively close the topic. Case closed, curtain down. But why then does this story still haunt us? Perhaps because the official version sounds just a bit too smooth. Now let's peer into where the real magic begins, the world of rumors and theories. Immediately after the incident, local residents began whispering, "The military is hiding something." They said that among the debris were not only pieces of metal, but also bodies. Yes, bodies. Small, thin, with huge black eyes and grey skin. Aliens. One witness, local mortician Glenn Dennis, later told how he was called to the base to provide child-sized coffins supposedly for accident victims. But why such small coffins? Surely not for humans. The rumors snowballed. Someone claimed to have seen the military hauling away debris under cover of night to a secret base, the infamous Area 51. Others swore they heard strange sounds in the desert that night, either screams or the hum of unknown machines. And here's where things get really interesting. What if Roswell isn't just a coincidence, but the key to one of humanity's greatest mysteries? Decades later, when Cold War fears had subsided, new witnesses began to emerge. Their accounts were striking in their detail and sincerity. Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer who first arrived at the crash site, later admitted in an interview, what he saw resembled nothing earthly. Metallic fragments that couldn't be bent or scratched, material resembling plastic but possessing incredible strength. Even more startling were the testimonies of a nurse from the local hospital. She described being called to the military base to assist with an autopsy. According to her account, she saw small grey bodies with disproportionately large heads. The beings had 4 fingers instead of 5, and their skin was smooth and cold to the touch. When she tried to speak about it, she was threatened with serious consequences if she talked. Another witness, a sergeant who worked at the base at the time, years later revealed how he was forced to sign a non-disclosure document. He saw trucks removing canvas-covered boxes from the crash site. One box accidentally opened, and he glimpsed something inside that looked like part of an unknown aircraft's hull, smooth, seamless, as if cast from a single piece of unknown metal. What do scientists say about the materials found in Roswell? This is where things get really interesting. Some researchers claim to have gained access to fragments from that very crash. Analyzers revealed unusual properties, shape memory metal that returned to its original state after deformation. Such technologies only became available to humanity decades later. A materials scientist from Met who examined allegedly authentic fragments discovered an unusual crystalline structure. The metal contained isotopes in proportions not found naturally on Earth. Moreover, some elements were arranged in the lattice so perfectly that reproducing such a structure with modern methods would be extremely difficult. But skeptics object, where's the guarantee of authenticity for these samples? Perhaps they're products of secret military developments that later leaked and were passed off as alien artifacts. After all, in the 1940s, the military industry was actively experimenting with new alloys and composite materials. A physicist from Stanford offered another explanation. Perhaps the materials found were the result of experiments with plasma or high-energy fields. In those years, scientists were just beginning to study plasma properties, and some experiments could have led to the creation of materials with unusual characteristics. Regardless of what actually happened, the Roswell incident became a cultural phenomenon that changed our perception of space and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Before 1947, the idea of aliens was the domain of science fiction writers and dreamers. After Roswell, it became part of mainstream culture. The city of Roswell transformed into a mecca for UFO enthusiasts from around the world. Annually, thousands of tourists come here to visit the International UFO Museum and Research Center, walk the alien trail, and photograph themselves with the green aliens adorning every lamppost in the city. Local authorities don't resist this. Tourism brings the city millions of dollars annually. Roswell spawned an entire entertainment industry. Movies, books, TV series, computer games, all somehow connected to what happened in the New Mexico desert. The X-Files, Men in Black, Independence Day, these and many other works of popular culture draw inspiration from the Roswell story. But there's also a more serious side. The incident stimulated scientific research into the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The SETI program's search for extraterrestrial intelligence, exoplanet research projects, studies of interstellar travel possibilities, all of this is partly the legacy of that July day in 1947. However, not all UFO researchers agree with the traditional version of an alien spacecraft crash. Multiple alternative theories exist, each offering its own explanation for the Roswell events. One of the most intriguing theories suggests that a time travel experiment occurred in the New Mexico desert. According to this version, the military was testing technology allowing movement through space and time as part of an ultra-secret project. The experiment went wrong, resulting in artifacts from the future appearing, which would explain why the materials possessed such unusual properties. Another theory connects the incident to tests of ultra-secret German weapons. At the end of World War II, Americans brought many scientists and their developments from Germany as part of Operation Paperclip. Perhaps Roswell was testing one of these projects, an aircraft based on anti-gravity technologies that German scientists had been working on. There's also a version suggesting the crash was staged to divert attention from truly important military experiments. In those years, atomic weapons testing was actively conducted in New Mexico, and the military might have needed cover for particularly secret operations. Some researchers propose the incident is connected to underground civilization activity. In their opinion, advanced communities exist beneath the earth that occasionally surface. The crash could have been the result of an accident involving one of their craft. In the 21st century, interest in the Roswell incident hasn't waned. Modern technologies allow fresh perspectives on old evidence and documents. Independent research groups use satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and other high-tech methods to search for traces of that long-ago event. One research group discovered anomalous magnetic fields in the area of the suspected crash site. Instruments detect deviations that can't be explained by natural geological processes. Some scientists suggest these might be traces of unknown technology's impact. Other researchers focus on analyzing archival documents. Using modern image processing methods, they attempt to restore erased or censored fragments of official reports. Some of these efforts have already yielded results. Previously unknown testimonies and documents have been discovered. Interestingly, representatives of mainstream science have also joined the investigations. Several universities have launched UFO study programs using rigorous scientific methods. Their goal isn't to prove or disprove alien existence, but to objectively investigate and explain phenomena. In recent years, the US government has begun gradually declassifying UFO-related documents. In 2017, the Pentagon officially acknowledged the existence of a program studying unidentified aerial phenomena. Video recordings were released showing military pilots documenting objects performing maneuvers impossible according to modern physics. While these revelations don't directly concern the Roswell incident, they demonstrate that the military takes the study of unidentified objects seriously. This forces a fresh perspective on events from 70 years ago. Some former military personnel, bound by non-disclosure oaths, began giving interviews shortly before their deaths. Their accounts add new details to the Roswell story mosaic. One claimed to have seen strange materials being studied in the base's secret laboratories. Another described how his unit received orders to clean up the area after the crash. So what happened in Roswell on that distant July night in 1947? Was it simply a weather balloon that fell from the sky? Or something greater, first contact with another civilization that changed the course of history? We can speculate endlessly, but the truth, like stars in the desert, remains distant and alluring. One thing is clear, this mystery has captivated us for 77 years. Perhaps this is the real value of the Roswell incident, not what actually happened, but how this story makes us dream, explore, and ask questions. It reminds us that the universe is full of mysteries, and some of them might be closer than we think. What do you think? Do you believe in aliens or think it's fiction? What do the sand dunes of New Mexico hide? Write in the comments, like if this story hooked you, and subscribe so you don't miss new mysteries we'll uncover together.